Nocturne Audio Stories. The Man Who Hated Losing. Episode 4.
The photo glowed in Adrian's hand. Elena stared at it. The lobby camera angle was slightly tilted. The timestamp was from 23 minutes ago, and the man standing near the elevators was not supposed to be here. Not in this city, not in this building, not anywhere near her. Adrian's voice was quiet. Who is he? Elena didn't answer immediately, because the truth would pull something loose. Because the truth meant this wasn't only about a board vote anymore. It was about leverage. And she had just become one. His name is Daniel Cross, she said finally. Adrian's eyes never left her face. And why would he be in my lobby? Elena swallowed. Because he follows opportunity, she said, and because he doesn't like losing control. Adrian's jaw tightened. Control over you. Elena forced her shoulders to stay level. He used to think so. Another message appeared. Unknown number. She should have stayed out of this. Adrian read it, then looked at her. This isn't coincidence. No. Did you tell him where you were tonight? No. Does he have access to your phone? No. Your car? No. Adrian stepped back slightly. His mind was moving fast, strategic. Then he's connected to someone inside this building. The weight of that landed hard. Elena felt the city shrink beneath her feet. Grant, she said quietly. Adrian didn't respond immediately. Then he nodded once. Grant doesn't move randomly, he said. He positions pressure. Elena stepped closer to the glass. The lights below flickered in reflections across her face. Daniel wouldn't know about the board vote, she said, unless someone told him. Adrian's expression went still again, not cold, dangerous. He knows enough, Adrian said. He knows you're here. Elena's pulse hammered once in her throat. She forced her breathing to slow. He's not subtle, she said. If he wanted to scare me, he would show up directly. Adrian's gaze sharpened. You don't sound afraid. Elena turned toward him. I am, she said. I just don't let it decide for me. The phone vibrated again. This time it was a call. Board chairman. Adrian answered. His voice was smooth, controlled. Yes, he listened. Elena watched his expression change by degrees, almost invisible shifts. I understand, he said finally. I'll be there. He ended the call. The vote is confirmed, he said. 53 minutes. Elena's mind raced. Can it be delayed? No. Can you sway anyone? Possibly. How? Adrian stepped closer again. By proving I'm not compromised. Elena understood instantly. They think you are. They think I'm distracted. By me? Yes. The realization tightened the room. Grant positioned Daniel to reinforce that, Elena said. Make it look personal. Adrian's eyes darkened. He wants the board to think I'm unstable, emotional, reckless. Elena stepped forward. Then don't be. He looked at her, slowly. You think this is easy? Her voice didn't waver. No, I think it's necessary. He studied her. Then he asked the question he had avoided all night. Why didn't you tell me about him before? Elena held his gaze because he doesn't matter. He clearly does. She felt something twist in her chest. He mattered once, she corrected. Not anymore. Adrian stepped even closer, close enough that she felt the warmth of him again. Did he hurt you? The question landed differently now. Not possessive, protective. Elena exhaled slowly. He tried to, she said. Adrian's jaw tightened. How? She hesitated, not because she feared his reaction, because she feared giving him something real. Control, she said. Isolation. Pressure disguised as protection. Adrian went still again, but this time the stillness wasn't strategic. It was contained anger. Did he touch you? Elena met his eyes directly, not in a way that left bruises. That answer was worse. Adrian turned away briefly, ran a hand through his hair, then faced her again. If he steps inside this building again, he said quietly, he won't leave comfortably. Elena studied him. This isn't your fight. It is now. Her heart beat faster at that, not fear, something else. You don't get to claim me, she said softly. Adrian's eyes held hers. I'm not claiming you. I'm protecting what stands beside me. The distinction mattered more than she expected. The phone buzzed again. Another image, this time closer. Daniel inside the parking garage, looking directly at the camera, smiling. Elena's pulse spiked. "He wants you to see him," she said. "Yes." "Why?" Adrian's voice went cold. "Because if I react publicly, Grant wins." Elena thought quickly. "Then don't react publicly." He looked at her and privately. "Privately," she said, "we make sure he understands the rules have changed." Adrian watched her carefully. "You sound calm." "I am." "Why?" She stepped closer to him again, not away from the danger, toward it. "Because this isn't new to me," she said. "Men who lose control escalate. Men who fear losing escalate faster." His hand lifted slightly, not touching, close. "And what do you do?" he asked. Her eyes didn't leave his. "I don't flinch." The board vote loomed closer, 41 minutes. Adrian stepped toward the desk, opened his laptop, started pulling financial dashboards. "If I walk into that meeting unstable," he said, "they remove me. If I walk in calm, they hesitate." Elena moved beside him, not behind, beside. "Then we build hesitation," she said. He glanced at her. "We," she met his eyes, "you invited me up here. I'm not leaving you alone in this." Another micro shift, something deeper than tension, trust forming where neither expected it. The phone vibrated again, but this time it wasn't Grant. It wasn't Daniel, it was security. Adrian answered. "Yes," he listened, his expression hardened. "Understood," he said. He ended the call. "Daniel left the garage," he said. Elena's stomach tightened. "Where did he go?" Adrian's eyes stayed locked on hers. "Up." The word settled into the room like a trigger being pulled. Elena felt the shift, not panic, clarity. "He doesn't have access," she said. "Not directly." Adrian's jaw went still again. "But someone does." The elevator indicator outside the penthouse door lit faintly. Movement. Upward. Approaching, Adrian stepped away from the desk. His posture changed. Not boardroom now, protective. Elena's breath slowed. She wasn't shaking, she wasn't retreating, she was watching. The elevator neared the top. Adrian's voice dropped to something controlled and lethal. "Stay behind me." Elena's eyes narrowed slightly. "No." He glanced at her. "This isn't a negotiation. It is if I'm involved." The elevator stopped. A soft mechanical sound echoed beyond the door. Adrian moved closer to her. His voice lowered further. "If that door opens and he's standing there," he said, "you let me handle it." Elena met his gaze. "If that door opens," she replied, "you don't lose control." The silence stretched. The elevator door mechanism began to unlock. The penthouse lights reflected in the polished entry. Adrian's hand found hers instinctively. Not dominance, connection. And the doors began to slide open. The opening was narrow at first. Only a line of darkness. Only a quiet seam in the wall of the night. Then it widened. The hallway beyond was empty, too empty. Adrian didn't relax. He stayed between her and the door. Elena stepped half a pace to the side, not behind him, beside him. Adrian's gaze cut toward her. "Elena," her voice stayed calm. "I said I don't flinch." The elevator doors finished opening. Nothing happened, no footsteps, no voice, no shadow in the threshold. Elena's pulse didn't slow, it sharpened, because this felt planned. Adrian took one step into the hall, then another. He looked left, then right, still nothing. Elena spoke softly. He wanted the elevator to announce him. Adrian's jaw tight. He wanted us to wait. Elena's eyes moved to the small black lens in the ceiling corner. "Cameras," she said. Adrian followed her gaze. His expression turned darker. "He's watching." Elena's throat went dry. "He's not in the hall," she said. "He's making sure you know he can reach you." Adrian stepped back inside the penthouse. He reached toward the wall panel near the door. The lock engaged with a quiet click. Another lock followed, then another. The door became a promise. Elena watched him. "You have layered locks," she said. "Yes, because you expect threats." Adrian turned toward her. "Because I don't like surprises." Elena's gaze didn't drop. "Neither do I." Adrian picked up his phone again. He dialed security. His voice was controlled. I want every camera feed from the lobby to the penthouse elevator. He listened, his eyes narrowed. Yes, he said. Now, he ended the call. Elena moved toward the kitchen island without being invited. She placed both palms on the surface. 41 minutes, she said. Adrian's eyes lifted to her. Yes. Grant wants you rattled, she continued. Daniel wants me rattled, so we do the opposite. Adrian's voice was quiet. Which is? Elena met his gaze. We control the story before they do. Adrian didn't answer immediately. His silence wasn't dismissal, it was attention. Say it, he said. Elena took a slow breath. If the board believes you're compromised, she said, you give them evidence you're not. Adrian's eyes sharpened. Evidence. Elena nodded. You walk into that vote untouchable. You make them fear what happens if they remove you. Adrian's gaze held hers. They already fear me. Elena's voice lowered. Not enough, she said. Not personally. Adrian's jaw flexed. What do you want me to do? Elena didn't hesitate. Call 2 board members, she said. Not the loyal ones. The uncertain ones. Invite them here. Adrian's eyes narrowed. Tonight. Now, Elena corrected. They need to see you calm in your space. They need to see me leave. Adrian's gaze flickered. You want them to see you walk out. Elena nodded. So they stop imagining something scandalous, she said, and start imagining something controlled. Adrian studied her as if mapping her mind. You're good, he said quietly. Elena didn't smile. I'm careful, she replied. Adrian's phone vibrated again. Another message. She won't save you. Elena watched Adrian read it. His expression did not change, but his fingers tightened around the phone. Elena spoke softly. He wants a reaction. Adrian looked at her. He'll get one, he said. Later. Elena's pulse stuttered. It can become too late, she replied. Adrian set the phone down. Then we move now, he said. He grabbed his laptop. He pulled up a list, names, numbers, private contacts. He dialed one without hesitation. Elena listened as he spoke, professional, calm. I need 10 minutes, he said. In person, he listened. Yes, he continued. Here. He ended the call. He dialed a second number. I'm calling because I won't be surprised tonight, he said. I need you upstairs. He listened again. Yes, he said. Now, he ended the call. Elena watched him. Who? She asked. Marion Klein, he said. And Victor Shaw. Elena's eyes narrowed. Their swing votes. Yes, Elena's mind moved fast. I leave before they arrive, she said. Adrian's gaze snapped to her. No, Elena held his stare. Yes, she repeated. That was the plan. Adrian stepped closer. You leaving gives Grant the narrative, he said. Elena didn't retreat. Me staying gives him leverage, she replied. Adrian's voice lowered. I don't want you to leave. Elena's chest tightened at the honesty. She kept her tone steady. One is not the same as smart, she said. Adrian stared at her. His eyes were unreadable, but his voice shifted. Tell me the real reason, he said. Elena's throat tightened. Because if Daniel is inside this building, she replied, he'll come for me. Adrian's jaw hardened instantly. Let him, he said. Elena's eyes sharpened. That's not a solution. It is if he learns, Adrian replied. Elena held his gaze. I don't want him to learn by touching my life again, she said. Adrian's expression shifted, not softer, worse, protective in a way that made the air feel dangerous. He stepped closer, close enough that Elena could feel the heat of him. He won't, Adrian said. Elena's pulse jumped. You can't promise that, she whispered. Adrian's voice went quiet. I can, he replied. Elena stared at him. You're too sure, she said. Adrian's gaze didn't waver. I'm not sure, he said. I'm decided. Elena felt the room tilt, not from fear, from the realization that Adrian Vale did not decide lightly. His phone buzzed again. Security this time. Adrian answered. Yes. He listened. His face tightened. Elena watched him closely. Adrian ended the call. They pulled the feed, he said. Elena blinked once. Pulled it. Someone cut access to the camera segment from the garage to the penthouse elevator. Elena's skin went cold. So Daniel can move unseen. Adrian nodded. Or someone can. Elena's mind raced. Inside staff, she said. Or a bored ally, Adrian answered. Elena inhaled slowly. Marion and Victor are coming here, she said, which means whoever is watching will know they're coming too. Adrian's eyes narrowed, which means Grant is forcing a scene. Elena's stomach tightened. He wants your home to look unstable, she said. He wants me to look like a liability. Adrian stepped toward the door panel again. He checked locks, every layer. Then he looked at Elena. You're not leaving, he said. Elena's eyes flashed. Adrian, he cut in. If you leave, he wins, Adrian said. If you leave, he gets you alone, he added. Elena's throat tightened. You don't get to decide my movement, she said. Adrian's gaze held hers. Then decide it, he replied. Right now. Elena stared at him. She hated that she trusted him. She hated that she trusted him more than she trusted the hallway outside. I stay, she said. Adrian's breath shifted. Relief flashed across his face so quickly it was almost invisible. Elena saw it anyway. But you don't own that decision, she added. Adrian nodded once. Agreed. Elena took a slow breath. Now we plan, she said. Adrian stepped to the kitchen island. He opened a drawer. He removed a thin tablet. He tapped it. A floor plan appeared. Elena's eyes narrowed. You have the building mapped. I don't like surprises, he repeated. Elena leaned in. Where is the service elevator? She asked. Adrian pointed. 2 corridors down. That's where staff moves, Elena said. Adrian nodded, which means Daniel doesn't need the penthouse elevator. Elena's pulse tightened. He could already be on this floor. Adrian looked at her. He is not getting through this door, he said. Elena's voice lowered. I'm less worried about the door, she replied. I'm worried about what he came to collect. Adrian's eyes sharpened. Which is? Elena swallowed. A reaction, she said. A memory, a weakness. Adrian stepped closer. Then we give him none, he said. Elena's gaze stayed steady. That requires honesty, she replied. Adrian's jaw flexed. Say it. Elena took a slow breath. If Daniel has access to surveillance, she said, he will bait you through me. Adrian didn't blink. Elena continued. He will try to make you look like you're losing control, she said. And if you do, Grant wins the board. Adrian's eyes darkened. Understood. Elena held his gaze. You've been close to losing control already, she said. Adrian's mouth tightened. Because of him, Elena shook her head once. Because of me, she answered. The silence that followed was heavy. Adrian's voice lowered. You think you're a distraction. Elena's voice was calm. I think you're human, she replied. Adrian stared at her. I don't allow that in public, he said. Elena's gaze stayed steady. Then allow it here, she replied. Adrian's breath shifted. He stepped closer. Elena didn't move. His hand rose toward her face, stopped just short of touching. He looked at her as if asking permission without saying it. Elena's pulse jumped. She lifted her fingers and caught his wrist gently, not to stop him, to set the pace. Control yourself, she whispered. Adrian's eyes darkened. I am, he replied. Elena held his wrist a second longer, then she let go. Adrian's phone buzzed. A calendar alert. Board vote 35 minutes. Elena's focus snapped back. They're coming, she said. Adrian nodded. Marion first, he replied. Victor second. Elena looked around the penthouse. We need this place to look stable, she said. Adrian's gaze sharpened. It is stable. Elena's voice lowered. Not if the board smells chaos, she replied. Adrian studied her, then nodded once. Tell me what to do, he said. Elena blinked. That sentence was new. Adrian Vale did not say things like that. She recovered quickly. Sit, she said. Adrian hesitated. Then he sat on the couch, posture perfect, eyes on her. Elena moved to the kitchen. She poured water into 2 glasses, set one near him. Then she set the other on the island. She didn't sit, she stood, balanced, professional, present. When they arrive, she said, you don't explain. Adrian's eyes narrowed. I don't. You don't defend, Elena continued. I don't. You don't mention Daniel, she added. Adrian's jaw tightened. Understood. Elena's voice sharpened just slightly. You make them feel like the vote is already decided, she said. Adrian's eyes stayed on her. In my favor. Yes, Elena replied. Adrian's mouth curved faintly. You want me arrogant. Elena met his gaze. I want you inevitable, she said. The intercom chimed softly. Elena's pulse tightened. Adrian didn't move. He looked at her. You open it, he said. Elena stepped toward the door panel. She pressed a button. Yes. A woman's voice came through, clipped and controlled. Marion Klein, I'm downstairs. Adrian's eyes didn't leave Elena. Elena pressed the release for the private elevator. Come up, she said. Adrian's gaze sharpened. You spoke for me. Elena turned her head slightly. You asked me to help, she replied. Adrian didn't argue. The elevator began to rise. Elena felt the pressure return. This was no longer only seduction. This was reputation, power, survival. Adrian stood as the elevator arrived. The doors opened. Marion Klein stepped out, elegant, sharp eyes, a smile that didn't reach them. Her gaze landed on Elena immediately, then on Adrian, then back on Elena. Marion's voice was polite. I didn't realize you had company. Adrian's voice was calm. You did, he said. Marion's smile tightened. Then I'm surprised you invited me here. Adrian didn't flinch. I invited you because you're intelligent, he replied, and because you don't vote on rumors. Marion's gaze sharpened. Elena remained still. Marion stepped farther inside. She looked around the penthouse, minimal, controlled. Then she looked at Elena again. And you are, she asked. Elena gave a small, professional smile. Elena Marlowe, she said. Marion's eyes narrowed slightly. The consultant. Yes. Marion's gaze shifted back to Adrian. Interesting timing, she said. Adrian's expression didn't change. Timing is always interesting when someone wants you distracted, he replied. Marion's smile faded. Grant, she said. Adrian didn't confirm it. He didn't need to. Marion walked to the kitchen island. She didn't sit. Elena noticed. Marion was measuring stability too. You asked me up here, Marion said, because you want my vote. Adrian's voice stayed calm. I asked you up here because I want you to understand something, he replied. Marion lifted her chin. Which is? Adrian looked at her directly. If they remove me, he said, Grant gets the company at a discount. Marion's eyes sharpened. Adrian continued. He will cut staff, he said. He will strip divisions, he said. And he will blame the board for it, he added. Marion's mouth tightened. You're threatening me. Adrian didn't blink. I'm informing you, he replied. Marion's eyes flicked to Elena. And she's here because... Adrian's voice didn't change. Because she sees what you don't, he said. Marion's expression tightened. Elena spoke calmly. Grant isn't trying to remove Adrian because he's unstable, Elena said. Marion's gaze sharpened. Then why? Elena's voice was quiet and precise. Because Adrian is in the way, she replied. Marion's eyes narrowed. Elena continued. Grant doesn't want a CEO, she said. He wants a vacancy. Marion stared at Elena, then back at Adrian. And the optics? Marion asked. Adrian's expression remained steady. Optics are the weapon, he replied. Marion's mouth tightened. Your optics aren't clean tonight, she said. Elena's pulse tightened. Marion's eyes stayed on her. People talk, Marion added. Adrian's voice was calm. Then let them, he replied. Marion studied him. You're unusually calm, she said. Adrian didn't smile. Because this isn't personal, he said. It's business. Marion's eyes held his. It looks personal. Adrian's gaze didn't waver. That's what Grant wants, he replied. Marion's expression shifted. Not trust, consideration. The elevator chimed again. Elena's stomach tightened. Victor Shaw stepped out, older, calm, eyes like a judge. He took one look at the room, then he spoke. Adrian, he said, this better be worth my time. Adrian's voice stayed measured. It will be, he replied. Victor's gaze moved to Elena. Then to Marion. You're gathering votes, Victor said. Adrian didn't deny it. Victor stepped farther inside. I have one question, Victor said. Adrian waited. Victor's eyes stayed on Adrian. Are you distracted? Victor asked. The room went quiet. Elena felt the knife edge of it. Adrian's gaze did not move. His voice stayed calm. "No," he said. Victor's eyes narrowed. "Then why is she here?" Adrian answered without hesitation. "Because someone is trying to use her to distract me," he said. Victor stared. Marian's expression tightened. Elena didn't blink. Victor spoke slowly. "That's a bold accusation." Adrian's voice remained even. "It's accurate," he replied. Victor's eyes narrowed. "Prove it." Adrian looked at Elena for a fraction of a second. Elena understood immediately. This was the moment, not romance, power. Elena stepped forward. She kept her voice calm. "Grant Holloway is weaponizing perception," she said. Victor's gaze stayed on her. Elena continued. "Tonight," she said, "someone accessed building surveillance to confirm I was here." Marian's eyes widened slightly. Victor's expression didn't change. "That's serious," Victor said. Elena nodded. "It's not rumor," she replied. "It's a move." Victor looked at Adrian. "And you?" Victor asked. Adrian's voice stayed calm. "I'm calm," he replied. Victor watched him closely. Then Victor said the one thing Elena didn't expect. "Show me the messages." Adrian's eyes sharpened. He hesitated just a fraction. Elena felt it, because showing the messages meant exposing the pressure. It meant admitting vulnerability. Adrian looked at Elena, then he made a choice. He turned his phone screen toward Victor. Victor read. Marian stepped closer. She read too. Elena watched their faces shift, not shock, recognition. Victor's mouth tightened. "This is someone inside the building," Victor said. Adrian nodded. Marian's eyes narrowed. "Grant has allies in security," she said quietly. Victor's gaze sharpened. "Or in staff," he replied. Elena spoke softly. "Or in both," she said. Victor looked at Adrian again. "You're telling me this before the vote," Victor said, "because you want me to vote against Grant." Adrian's voice remained measured. "I want you to vote for the company," he replied. Victor stared at him. Then Victor said, "You have 10 minutes to convince me." Elena felt the pressure spike again. Adrian didn't hesitate. He moved toward his laptop. He pulled up a file, numbers, contracts. He spoke with calm precision. Marian listened. Victor listened. Elena listened too, because beneath the numbers was something else. Adrian was not pleading, he was declaring. He wasn't fighting to keep a seat, he was fighting to keep control of what he built. Victor finally lifted a hand. "Enough," he said. Adrian stopped instantly. Victor looked at Marian, then back to Adrian. "If Grant is using security to manipulate optics," Victor said, "he's overplaying." Marian nodded slightly. Victor's gaze stayed cold. "But I don't like surprises," Victor added. Elena felt Adrian's attention shift. Victor looked directly at Elena. "Who is Daniel Cross?" Victor asked. Elena's stomach tightened. Marian's eyes sharpened. Adrian's jaw hardened. Elena realized the trap instantly. The board didn't only fear Adrian's optics, they feared hers too. Elena kept her voice steady. "Someone from my past," she said. Victor's gaze didn't soften. "A threat?" Victor asked. Elena's voice stayed calm. "A man who doesn't accept boundaries," she replied. Marian's expression changed. "And he's in this building," Marian said. Elena nodded once. Victor's jaw tightened. "If he causes a scene tonight," Victor said, "Grant wins." Adrian's voice was low. "He won't," Adrian replied. Victor stared at him. "How do you know?" Adrian didn't answer. Elena answered instead. "Because Daniel wants control," she said. "He won't risk losing it in public." Victor's eyes narrowed. "Men like that enjoy private games," Victor said. Elena's throat tightened. "Yes," she replied. Marian's voice went quieter. "Then you need to leave," Marian said to Elena. Adrian's gaze snapped to Marian. Marian held her ground. "If she stays," Marian continued, "this becomes scandal." Adrian's voice turned colder. "She stays," he said. Victor lifted his hand. "Adrian," Victor said, "that's not your call." Elena's pulse tightened. She stepped forward. "It is my call," Elena said calmly. Victor's eyes locked on her. Elena continued. "And I'm not leaving because a man wants to corner me," she said. That is the pattern I refuse to repeat. Marion's expression shifted, respect flickered, Victor's gaze stayed sharp. Brave, Victor said. Elena's voice stayed calm. Careful, she corrected. Victor watched her for a long moment, then he looked at Adrian. If you keep your composure, Victor said, I'll vote to keep you. Marion's eyes widened slightly. Adrian's expression didn't change, but Elena felt the shift in him. Relief, controlled, Victor turned toward Marion. And you? Victor asked. Marion's mouth tightened. Grant is reckless, she said. I don't reward recklessness. Elena felt the air change. 2 votes, not guaranteed, but leaning. Adrian's voice stayed calm. Thank you, he said. Victor looked at Elena again. If Daniel contacts you, Victor said, do not respond. Elena nodded. Marion added quietly. And if he shows up, she said, do not engage. Elena's eyes didn't drop. Understood, she replied. Victor checked his watch. We have 20 minutes, he said. I'm going down now. Marion nodded. I'll meet you, she said. Adrian walked them to the elevator. The doors opened. Victor stepped inside. Marion followed. Marion turned back at the last second, her eyes locked on Elena. Be careful, Marion said quietly. The doors closed. The elevator descended. Silence returned. Elena exhaled slowly. Adrian turned to her. His voice was low. You just secured 2 votes, he said. Elena didn't smile. Not yet, she replied. Adrian's eyes narrowed. Why not? Elena's voice lowered. Because Grant won't stop, she said, and Daniel is still inside this building. Adrian's phone buzzed again. 1 message, nice performance. Elena's stomach tightened. Adrian read the message. Then another came instantly. Now it's my turn. Elena's pulse spiked. Adrian's expression went still. Elena's voice was quiet. He's watching the Penthouse feed, she said. Adrian's jaw tightened. There is no Penthouse feed, he said. Elena's eyes narrowed. Then someone put one in here, she replied. Adrian's gaze sharpened. He looked around the room differently now, not as an owner, as a hunter. He moved toward the living room. His eyes scanned corners, ceiling lines, fixtures. Elena followed slowly. You don't display art, she said quietly. Adrian glanced at her. No. Elena's gaze moved to a minimalist sculpture near the window. That piece is new, she said. Adrian's eyes narrowed. It wasn't there last week, he said. Elena's pulse tightened. Adrian walked to it. He crouched. He examined the base. Then he went still. Elena's throat went dry. What is it? She asked. Adrian's voice turned low. A lens, he said. Elena's stomach dropped. Adrian's jaw tightened. He stood. He looked at Elena. Someone put a camera in my home, he said. Elena's voice was quiet. Grant, she whispered. Adrian didn't answer. He lifted the sculpture. He turned it. He found the embedded device. His hand tightened. He crushed it. The tiny crack sounded louder than it should have. Elena felt her pulse race. Adrian's breathing changed. Elena stepped closer. Adrian, she said softly. He looked at her. His eyes were darker now, not desire. Rage controlled so tightly it looked like calm. He's inside my walls, Adrian said. Elena swallowed. We don't have time, she said. Adrian's jaw flexed. We make time, he replied. Elena held his gaze. You promised composure, she said. Adrian's voice was low. I'm composed, he replied. I'm just done being polite. Elena's phone vibrated. She froze. She hadn't received a message all night, only now. Unknown number, a single line. Hello, Elena. Her skin went cold. Adrian saw her face change instantly. Show me, he said. Elena handed him the phone. Adrian read it. Then another message came. I didn't like the way you looked at him. Elena's breath caught. Adrian's jaw went tight. Another message. You always did like dangerous men. Elena swallowed. Another message followed immediately. Open the door. Elena's pulse spiked. Adrian's voice was low. Do not respond, he said. Elena nodded. Then the intercom chimed once, twice, 3 times. Elena stared at the door panel. Adrian moved in front of her again. Stay back, he said. Elena's voice was calm. He knows I'm here, she replied. Adrian's gaze sharpened. He doesn't get to confirm it, Adrian said. The intercom chimed again. Then a voice came through, not Daniel's voice, a man's voice, calm and professional. "Mr. Vale," the voice said, "this is building security." Adrian didn't move. Elena's stomach tightened. Security again, too convenient. "State your name," Adrian said. The voice hesitated half a second. "Marcus," it said. Adrian's eyes narrowed. "There is no Marcus on my night detail," Adrian replied. Silence. Then the voice returned. "We have a situation," it said. Adrian's tone stayed calm. "What situation?" The voice lowered slightly. "A woman," it said. Elena's breath stopped. "We found her badge downstairs," the voice continued. "She's not authorized to be here." Elena felt the trap set itself. Adrian didn't blink. "She is authorized," Adrian said. The voice responded instantly. "Then open the door." Adrian's jaw tightened. Elena's pulse hammered in her throat. Adrian's voice was low. "You're not security," he said. Silence. Then a new voice came through the intercom. Daniel's voice, soft, familiar. "Elena," Daniel said. Elena felt her body go still, not fear, memory. Daniel's voice continued. "You always did hide behind men with money," he said. Adrian's hand tightened into a fist. Elena spoke quietly. "Do not react," she said to Adrian. Daniel's voice returned through the intercom. "Tell him to open the door," Daniel said. Elena's voice stayed calm. "No," she replied. Daniel laughed softly. "You're still pretending you don't want me to see you," he said. Elena's throat tightened. Daniel continued. "I'm not here to hurt you," he said. "I'm here to take back what's mine." Adrian moved toward the panel. Elena caught his wrist. She shook her head once. Adrian's eyes locked on hers. His voice was low. "He said the wrong words," Adrian whispered. Elena's voice was steady. "He wants you to explode," she whispered back. Daniel's voice came again. "Your board is voting soon," Daniel said. Elena froze. Adrian went still. Daniel continued. "You don't have time for me," he said, "but you do have time to watch what happens when you ignore me." Elena's phone vibrated again. A message appeared. "Look outside." Elena's breath caught. Adrian's eyes flicked to her phone. Elena moved to the window. Her legs felt steady even when her chest didn't. She looked down at the street far below. Nothing. Then she looked across to the neighboring tower. A window glowed on a high floor. Someone stood there, a silhouette, watching. Elena's skin went cold. Adrian moved to her side. He followed her gaze. His jaw tightened. "He's not alone," Elena whispered. Adrian's voice was low. "Grant," he said. Elena turned her head slightly. "This is coordinated," she whispered. Adrian's phone vibrated. Board chairman calling again. Adrian didn't answer. Another vibration. Text this time. Meeting room changed. Now, Elena's pulse spiked. "They're forcing you out," she said. Adrian's eyes stayed on the window for 1 second longer, then he turned. He picked up his jacket. He put it on. His expression smoothed into something deadly calm. Elena stared. "You're going," she said. Adrian nodded. "I have to," he replied. Elena's voice tightened. "And Daniel?" Adrian's gaze locked on hers. "He stays outside that door," Adrian said. Elena swallowed. "He won't," she replied. Adrian stepped closer. His voice dropped low. "Then you come with me," he said. Elena blinked. "To the vote?" Adrian nodded. Elena's pulse hammered. "That makes me visible," she said. Adrian's eyes held hers. "You already are," he replied. Elena's throat tightened. Daniel's voice returned through the intercom. "He's leaving," Daniel said softly. Elena's breath caught. Daniel continued. "That's when you'll open the door," he said. Adrian's hand lifted. He shut off the intercom. Silence returned. Adrian looked at Elena. "You trust me?" he asked. Elena's heartbeat was loud in her ears. She didn't want to admit it, but she did. "Yes," she said. Adrian nodded once. "Then move," he replied. They crossed the penthouse quickly. Adrian tapped the panel. A hidden door slid open near the hallway wall. Elena froze. "You have a private corridor," she said. Adrian didn't look back. "I don't like being cornered," he replied. Elena stepped inside. The corridor was narrow, quiet, unmarked. They moved fast. Elena's phone buzzed again. One message. Running again, Elena's stomach tightened. Adrian glanced at her screen, his voice was low. "Do not answer," he repeated. Elena nodded. The corridor ended at a service elevator. Adrian pressed the button. The elevator arrived quickly, too quickly. Elena felt it, Adrian felt it too. He didn't step inside immediately. He watched the elevator interior, empty, still. Then Adrian stepped in. Elena followed, the doors closed, the elevator descended. Elena's breath was controlled, but her thoughts raced. "If Grant wins," she said quietly, "Daniel becomes bolder." Adrian's voice was low. "Grant will not win," he replied. Elena looked at him. "You sound sure," she said. Adrian's gaze met hers. "I'm decided," he repeated. The elevator stopped. The doors opened. Another hallway, quiet, too quiet again. Adrian moved first. Elena stayed close. They reached a door that opened into a private executive corridor. Adrian scanned the space. Then he moved. They walked quickly. A corner ahead, and a shadow. Elena's breath caught. Adrian's posture sharpened. A man stepped out, not Daniel, not security, someone else. Immaculate suit, calm smile, Grant Holloway. Elena's stomach dropped. Grant's eyes flicked to Elena first, then to Adrian. Grant's voice was smooth. "Adrian," he said. Adrian's voice stayed calm. "Grant." Grant's smile widened slightly. "You look tense," Grant said. Adrian didn't blink. "You look bored," Adrian replied. Grant's gaze flicked to Elena again. "Elena Marlowe," Grant said softly. Elena's pulse tightened. "You know me," she replied. Grant's smile stayed polite. "I know everyone who matters," he said. Adrian stepped half a pace forward. "Move," Adrian said. Grant chuckled. "The vote is starting early," Grant said. Adrian's eyes narrowed. Grant continued. "I thought you'd like to arrive prepared," he said. Elena felt the trap. Grant was too calm. Grant was enjoying this. Grant looked at Elena again. "Tell him to breathe," Grant said softly. Elena's jaw tightened. Adrian's voice stayed flat and controlled. "Stop speaking," Adrian said. Grant smiled. "You can keep your seat," Grant said. Adrian's gaze sharpened. "At a price," Elena whispered. Grant heard her anyway. His smile widened. "Exactly," Grant said. Adrian's eyes turned colder. "Name it," Adrian said. Grant's gaze stayed on Elena. "She leaves," Grant said. Elena's blood went cold. Adrian didn't blink. "No," Adrian replied. Grant's smile stayed polite. "Then you lose," Grant said. Elena felt Adrian's tension spike. Not fear, rage contained. Grant stepped slightly closer. "It's simple," Grant said. "Give me the story I want and you keep the crown." Elena's pulse hammered. Adrian's voice stayed calm. "You already tried," Adrian said. Grant's smile didn't change. "And you already reacted," Grant replied. Elena's throat tightened. Grant leaned in slightly. "He's upstairs," Grant said softly to Elena. Elena froze. Grant continued. "Daniel," he said. Elena felt the floor shift. Adrian's voice went low. "You brought him here." Grant's smile widened. "I didn't bring him," Grant replied. "He brought himself." Elena's stomach tightened. Grant's gaze stayed on her. "He told me an interesting story," Grant said. Elena's throat went dry. Grant's voice stayed polite. "He said you don't like being owned," he said. Elena's jaw tightened. Grant continued. "He said you like choosing your cages," he said. Elena's pulse spiked. Adrian's voice went quieter. "Stop," Adrian said. Grant held up his hands. "I'm offering you mercy," Grant replied. "Let her walk away," he said to Adrian, "and you keep your seat." Elena felt the moment split. If she stayed, Adrian risked losing everything. If she left, Daniel had access again. Grant smiled. "Decide," he said softly. Adrian's eyes locked on Elena. Elena saw something there, a question Adrian never asked out loud. "Will you stand beside me?" Elena stepped forward. Her voice was calm. "I leave," she said. Adrian's eyes sharpened. Elena continued. "But not for you," she said to Grant. Grant's smile widened. Elena turned slightly toward Adrian. "I leave because I won't be used," she said. Adrian's jaw tightened. Elena's voice softened just a fraction. "Win the vote," she said. Adrian stared at her. Grant smiled like a man who thought he'd already won. Elena turned back to Grant. "Where is Daniel?" Elena asked. Grant's eyes gleamed. Waiting, he replied. Elena's pulse hammered. Adrian's voice was low. Elena, he said. Elena looked at him. She saw the tension in his control. She saw the restraint. She saw the anger he was swallowing for the vote. Elena stepped closer to Adrian, her voice lowered. I'm not running, she whispered. Adrian's gaze held hers. Then what are you doing? He whispered back. Elena's eyes didn't drop. I'm choosing, she replied. Grant watched them like entertainment. Elena turned and started down the corridor. Grant's smile widened. Adrian stayed still, because if he followed, Grant would win. Elena walked alone. Her phone buzzed. Good girl. Elena's stomach twisted. She didn't respond. Another buzz opened the service door. Elena's pulse spiked. She reached a door marked staff only. Her hand hovered near the handle. Her breathing stayed steady. She opened it. The hallway beyond was dim, quiet, and someone was standing there. Not Daniel, someone else. A woman. Short hair, black suit, security earpiece. She looked at Elena with calm eyes. Miss Marlowe, the woman said. Elena's pulse tightened. Who are you? Elena asked. The woman's voice stayed flat and professional. My name is Sira, she said. Elena's stomach dropped because Elena recognized that name. Daniel used to mention it only when he wanted to threaten without saying the threat. The woman continued. Daniel asked me to bring you, she said. Elena's skin went cold. Bring me where? Sira's gaze stayed calm. To the roof, she said. Elena's pulse spiked, because the roof meant no cameras, no witnesses, no safety in public rules. Elena's throat tightened. No, she said. Sira's expression didn't change. Then he'll come down, Sira replied. Elena's phone buzzed. A message from Daniel. I'm done waiting. Elena's breath caught. Sira stepped closer. Her voice lowered. Your CEO is voting in 10 minutes, she said. Elena's pulse hammered. Sira continued. If he leaves the room, he loses, she said. Elena's skin went cold. Elena realized the trap fully now. They weren't only trying to scare her. They were trying to force Adrian to choose, company or her. Sira watched Elena carefully. You can make this easy, Sira said. Elena met her gaze. Or I can make it expensive, Elena replied. Sira blinked once, not fear, interest. Elena's voice stayed calm. Tell Daniel, Elena said, if he wants me, he can come face me. Sira's mouth curved faintly. He is, she replied. Elena's pulse spiked because the hallway behind Sira shifted. A shadow moved. A man stepped into view, slowly, confidently. Daniel Cross. Elena's body went still. Daniel smiled, soft, familiar, possessive. Hello, Elena, Daniel said. Elena's voice was calm. You shouldn't be here, she replied. Daniel's smile widened. And you shouldn't be with him, Daniel said. Elena's throat tightened. Daniel stepped closer. Tell me, Daniel said softly, did he promise you safety? Elena didn't answer. Daniel continued. Or did he promise you control? Elena's pulse hammered. Daniel leaned closer. Because I can promise you both, he whispered. Elena's voice stayed steady. You never promised, she said. You demanded. Daniel's smile faded slightly. His eyes sharpened. Careful, Daniel said. Elena's chin lifted. No, she replied. Daniel's gaze flicked toward the corridor behind Elena. He's not coming, Daniel said softly. Elena's stomach tightened. Daniel continued. He can't, he said. Elena's pulse spiked. Daniel smiled again. So, Daniel said, you're going to make a choice. Elena held his gaze. Daniel's voice lowered. You come with me, he said. Elena's pulse hammered. Daniel continued. Or I walk into that meeting room, he said, and I tell them who you really are. Elena felt her blood go cold because Daniel knew things. Daniel knew names. Daniel knew stories that would destroy credibility even if they were twisted. Daniel smiled softly. Choose, he said. Elena's throat tightened, but her voice stayed calm. I choose neither, Elena said. Daniel's smile faded. You always did like impossible, he said. Elena's eyes didn't drop. And you always did like ownership, she replied. Daniel's gaze hardened. Then his phone buzzed. Daniel looked down. He smiled again. Elena's pulse spiked. Daniel lifted his eyes to hers. It's starting, he said softly. Elena's stomach dropped. What's starting? Daniel's smile widened. "The vote," he replied. Elena's breath caught. Daniel leaned closer. "And Adrian is about to lose," Daniel whispered. Elena's pulse hammered because she realized something terrifying. Grant didn't need her to leave. Grant needed her to be trapped, because if Elena couldn't reach Adrian, then Grant could rewrite the story in the room without her there. Daniel watched her face change. He smiled like he'd won something. "You feel it now," Daniel said. Elena's voice stayed steady. "Move," she said. Daniel didn't. Sierra didn't. Elena's heart hammered. Then Adrian's voice cut through the hall behind them. Low, controlled, "Step away from her." Elena's breath caught. Daniel's smile widened because Adrian Vale had left the vote. And that meant Grant had won. Adrian stepped into view, eyes dark, jaw tight, composure cracking for one reason only. "Elena," Daniel turned slowly. His smile was soft and pleased. "There you are," Daniel said. Adrian's voice was quiet. "You're done," Adrian replied. Daniel's smile widened. "No," Daniel said, "now you are." You've reached the end of tonight's story. If this world stayed with you, subscribe to Nocturne Audio Stories. New chapters are always in motion, and the next one awaits. Thank you for listening. I'll see you in the shadows.